Can you explain what somatic experiencing is?
Yeah, so somatic experiencing is a form of somatics, and somatic healing, somatic work, somatic therapy are big buzzwords right now on social media. Everybody's talking about
Yeah.
the nervous system and somatics, but somatic experiencing is different in that we're working with the survival physiology in the body. So I always tell people it's a lot more, it's a slower and more nuanced. It's not just about doing breath work or doing meditation or doing yoga. Those are what we call tools.
Mm.
What we do in somatic experiencing is we go layers deeper and start to learn the language of the nervous system, because the nervous system doesn't speak in vocabulary like we do. It speaks in sensation.
Hmm.
So we have to learn how it's communicating with us so that we can start to understand what it needs. And in doing that, we're able to be with things that are uncomfortable for longer periods of time, building capacity in the system, which then really starts to kind of eliminate these triggers, and the activation becomes less and less and less over time.
That's very interesting because the nervous system part, I feel like, when sometimes you learn a lot of things and you do, like you were saying, breathwork, meditation, yoga, all the tools in the world, and you still feel there's something that you're missing. And I feel like this has seriously been the conclusion that I got to lately of nervous system. And I can see how feeling safe in my body basically is what rules everything, every part of my life. It's just not just my physical body, but finances, let's say, or people, relationships, all of it. So how do you wow, where would you start with somebody? What is your process that you walk people through?
Yeah, so generally, I like to get on what I call these 15-minute somatic connection calls, because in doing this work, it's important that it's a good fit. Because I'm, in a lot of ways, what we're doing is I'm lending my clients my nervous system. I have to be very regulated and have a lot of capacity to do this work. So I've done so much work on myself over the years to get to a place where I can actually hold what they're bringing, because people are bringing their traumas, they're bringing their triggers, they're coming in very oftentimes emotional dysregulation. And this isn't like a therapy session where I'm cognitively helping them understand their trauma, but we're going back into the body. So we do these somatic connection calls, make sure it's a good fit. And then people either jump into a group container or a one on one. And I'm really helping guide them into their own nervous system so that they can start to understand, what does it feel like when I'm in fight flight? What does it feel like when I'm in freeze or dorsal shutdown? What does it feel like when I'm regulated? What does it feel like to move towards something that doesn't feel very good, but it's part of who I want to become? Because when you're going towards something that you've never done, you really want it, but it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And your whole body's like, I don't know if that's safe. I don't know. Like, should we do that? And it holds a lot of us back, because if we can't be with that uncomfortable feeling, we end up stuck in these patterns of, as business owners, small business owners, we might go to post something on social media, but then this discomfort in our body says, don't do it. People are going to say something bad about you. And so we don't do it, holding us back.
Mm-hmm.
Public speaking, if you want to be on bigger stages, talking and giving lectures, you might have this really deep ingrained fear for public speaking, and you can't get yourself past that really uncomfortable anxiety that comes up. So we do these, like, we call them self-sabotaging, but they're actually self-protection
Mm-hmm.
patterns
Yeah.
that we fall into. But that's where
Yeah.
that feeling of like something's not right, something's stuck. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I'm doing all the talk therapy, reading all the self-help books, doing all the yoga and meditation, and I'm still back to where I started, and I can't actually get where I know I want to go.